He's like, we just have weak feet because since we were children, we've been forced into these shoes that are not good for building foot strength.
And we've been sitting in chairs that don't have your full range of motion for your feet too, and your hips. So that's another thing with the weak pelvic floor that lead into weak feet. And then,
which is probably what leads to back pain, is because we're using our back muscles or whatever muscles more to compensate.
we're using them less.
Yes.
To do
Makes
anything.
sense.
Yeah. Because other cultures who don't have foot pain, back pain, are pop on a squat to eat, pop on a squat to use the toilet, and all that stuff.
Welcome back to We Time Convo. I'm Liza, and here with me today are Marita.
Hello.
And Dawn Marie.
Hi.
Today we're talking about a Diary of a CEO episode that claims your toes can predict if you'll die early. And of course, Marita's foot drama makes her the perfect guest for this one. Let's get into it. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thanks, Marita and Dawn Marie, for joining me on a short notice. I love how you guys are very like, yeah, I'm free. So thank you for filling in for Debbie today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anytime.
Yes. So
You can do it.
Yeah.
first of all, I got that email yesterday saying that we are 10% into the school year.
I know. Ridiculous.
I know. Our math teacher does these. I don't know. How often does she do these math
all the
things?
time?
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about when school's going to end.
Yeah.
I'm like,
just getting through the day, right?
I'm like, I've barely learned anybody's
I know. I'm
names.
trying to like make sure I don't call that Johnny, that John, and this Jane. Like,
Sophia and Sophie. Like,
there's
trying to
so
do
many
that.
duplicate names this year, and I'm like,
Oh, wait till this freshman class. You get a lot of
my
them.
gosh.
They have very complicated names.
So they're challenging, I guess.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very freshman-y.
But we have to remember, there's like this honeymoon phase with your students. Like, so the beginning
It's starting
of the
to
year,
drop.
Is yours? Mine's still okay. Mine's still pretty good. There's a couple of boys that I'm like, I got my eye on you. A couple of girls, but like in general, most of my students are like, you guys you're actually with me. You're listening to me. How long is this gonna last?
No, there's a good group of and it's like anything. We're a big population, so there's got to be a percent that you need some more steering and growing up, and they haven't, I think, had so many boundaries before, or they're a little free, the freshmen, but they're going to get some more boundaries, I think, that we're going to have to do.
But we've already had way too much drama for the beginning of the year.
Yes, it's a very, very interesting year so far. But
I just like to say that, like, when you watch TV shows and they like talk about like different work environments and you see all this, I'm like, there's not that much. That doesn't happen. There's not that much drama. I'm like, oh my God, this year there's that much drama.
yeah. And it's only 10% into the year. So
it's going to be good. And it's a WASC year. So
Yeah.
Well, I think we're confident in that part. The other crazy things, we might need to sage the front office. Or
WASC
we'll have to
is
talk
a whole new other
offline
thing.
with all the other T's.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, Marita, you were telling me, I think when I was asking you how school has been so far, and I think it was you that was telling me that your body wasn't used to standing so much, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was just joking with friends. I'm like, I feel like, did I spend my whole summer just sitting on the couch doing nothing? Because those first couple of days like did a huge toll on me. Like I still had foot pain from the end of the year, like heel pain, and I thought it was going to go away over the summer, and it just kind of is persistent. And then the big first couple of days of school, I'm like standing all day, even on my first easy day, right, where I only have to teach 2 classes because we're on a block schedule, I was in pain. And then the next day where I have all 3 of my classes, it was just getting worse. I'm having a hard time walking. We had a colleague that said, you're moving like an old lady. And I'm like, I am an old lady, right? But I am in a lot of pain. And I feel like I'm just out of shape. It's so much better now. Like, I feel like, okay, this pain is manageable, but I hate the fact that I have pain at all.
Yeah. In your feet.
Right. And there was a new type of pain. I had this, so the heel pain is what's associated, a symptom of plantar fasciitis or plantar fascia, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the tendons, fascia, right? Yeah. So anyways, then there was this new pain, like it was radiating from the center of my foot out to my pinky toe started hurting. And then it started spreading, and it's gone now, but I started to worry. I sent my doctor a message, and then I go, well, maybe we could you've already done PT for the plantar fasciitis. Maybe do you want to go see a podiatrist? And, maybe it has to do with cortisone shots or surgery. I'm like, wait. I don't want to go to surgery or shots right away. Can you look at my foot to see first? And then of course I haven't call the doctor back because I did try once and I'm like, I'm just too busy. I'll wait till there's if it's gone. But I go, at least it's not the shooting up, you know, because that's the heart issues, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's still like, I'm still suffering from this pain. It's still not the way I want to walk. So,
well, this is a perfect episode because Irene sent us this link. And so we listen to this podcast. It's a podcast called the DOAC, The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. And the specific episode that we are talking about is your toes can predict if you'll die early. So I personally don't have any. I have back problems and I have head problems, but I don't have feet problems. So it's perfect.
Well, and then I've also looked into it that sometimes your feet and foot issues can lead to or are an indicator too if you have a weak pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And because they're saying that alignment with your pelvic floor, a lot of older women with incontinence and that, and then foot problems too. Not to get too personal, but if you do have any of that, to be working on that as well to help yourself out with your feet.
And I watched the whole episode because I was totally invested.
God bless you, because I listened to maybe half of it, to be honest.
Well, I watched it on a Friday night. So I had stayed up late to watch it because I was invested. But she did say that back pain, that's also like indicative of foot issues as well. There was a lot of things that she said that if you can strengthen, I mean, to me, the big takeaway was strengthen your feet. The shoes that we wear are what's causing the problem. Mm-hmm. Strengthening your feet can lead to so many other health benefits, not just physical, but mental health benefits. And so a lot of what was said in that episode, like totally resonated with me.
And so she is Dr. Courtney Conley, who was, I believe she was a guest. I don't think she's a reoccurring host.
No,
so
she's a guest.
Yeah, she was a guest and she specializes in foot and gait mechanics. She's amazing because you can tell from what I listened to that she's very passionate about what she does. And Marita, you bring up the fact that it also has to do with mental, like emotional and mental.
Yeah, look at.
So she says that actually, if you walk 4,000 steps a day, it could slash your dementia risk by 50%. Yeah.
Huge.
It's crazy. Yeah. And then she mentioned that she was helping somebody. I think it was that gentleman.
He was like 27 years old.
Yeah. Like he couldn't walk. Like I think the doctor told him he can't walk no more than 2,500 steps a day. And he was getting depressed because he was bedridden. He didn't want to go over it. And she was like, little by little, let's get you walking. And
even if it's in the pool, even outside, even telling my students, we have, so being physical, like, okay, we call it a nature walk where you walk around the top of the bowl and stuff. Yeah. And I give them topics to talk about when they're up there. They're not realizing that's important. I had my grandmother, my Nana, she lived into her late 90s, but she had walking buddies and they went walking every morning. Sonoma, granted, it's beautiful down the path. But as soon as she stopped walking, Alzheimer's dementia kicked in. And now they're saying that is just as bad as a diagnosis of cancer because for anybody elderly, like, okay, well, what is your mobility then getting out of the house? And then all these other issues and everything arose. So I definitely saw that dip for her when she lost her walking buddies to do anything. So granted, it's easy, it's free, and you can do it anywhere, even in the mall. I don't care. Just get out and do it. But the foot problem hinders you. And then, like you said, am I depressed? Am I sitting down? You're a bubbly, fun person and you want to go out and do things. And just look how much pain you were at the end of a work day to be just an easy function. It's not like you had to run around or anything.
So Marita, how long have you, like, when did you start? Because you were a runner before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I ran before, and then I would say pre-COVID is when I noticed the issues, right? So like my brother and my sister were telling me about they were having these foot issues. I'm like, I have no problem with that, right? But then I would say maybe around 2017, 2018, I started noticing that like the arches of my feet were like sore, and no matter what I did, it was painful. And then like right before COVID, I felt like I was in the most pain with my plantar fascia. It was on the left side, and my son had started, went running, and my knees were hurting me now. Like I couldn't run, and I like these like shocking pain through my knee. And then I went to physical therapy because I talked to my doctor, and they were working on strengthening my knee joint. And they said that, well, because of your plantar fascia, we have to strengthen your knees. It's all about the mechanics about.
It's crazy how everything's connected, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the big deal. It's like, it's all connected. And so they were working, PT said to work on strengthening my knee. And then once my knee gets better, that works out. COVID helped a lot because because you're sedentary, right? We weren't walking as much, although I still walked on the outside, but I wasn't standing on my feet all day. So I wasn't putting that load. And I've over the last 10 years, I've probably gained 40 pounds. Like I would say I'm clinically obese. I know I need to lose weight. That's the part that makes it harder, is that like, I know I need to lose weight. I love to run, but it hurts to run now. And so I can't run. So then I do walking and I feel like, but then you get home from a long day, you're so tired. So there's like all these things that like, I feel like my mindset is like, now there's all these obstacles against it. Yeah. And so then you get like, you feel like you're in this cycle of like, nothing's going to improve. But like, I'm trying to put these things in, and the messages that I keep hearing from all the different resources is you just got to keep active. Walking is the best way.
Wear better shoes.
Right? Yeah, better shoes, but not the shoes that you think you're supposed to wear. So like, at least according to this doctor that we listened to on that podcast, she was saying that because of the pain, we try to get these like big spongy shoes, right, to alleviate some of the load, but we're not strengthening our foot. And she's in her podcast, in that episode, she also reiterates like, everything I'm saying is going to make sense, but you can't just flip the switch. You got to, it's a slow transition. Cause I'm like, okay, cause I did all the things that she says most of us do. I talked to my doctor, and my doctor says, here's some options. And then everybody else says, oh, you just need to get good orthotics. And it's not always the right answer. So I went to famous footwear chain store, foot store. And my parents swore by this, and because my dad had the same issue. So I went to go they said, well, just do a fitting, almost $1,600 for their system.
Yeah. Just for the fitting and not the shoes?
No, the fitting was free, but no shoes. It's just the orthotics. They had this like 3-tiered system, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a teacher, and I can't afford $1,600 right now. If I'm not, and I don't know that it's going to work. I mean, of course, what they said, the salesperson, I go, okay, that makes sense. But then now watching this podcast, I'm like, no, that's a temporary fix. You need an exit strategy from these orthotics. So the big picture is you got to strengthen your foot. There's like all these exercises you can do to strengthen your foot. And so I'm going to try that. Yeah. But she's like, and then get away from the shoes that like constrain our feet, and like shoes that you think are good shoes. I go, no, they're not that good. So you need to get shoes that have what's called a wide toe box, not wide width shoe, wide toe box. And she stressed the importance of allowing your toes to splay. And so like because I've went to another shoe store all the shoes were very cute, and they gave me an orthotic that was a lot cheaper. I'm like, let me try this one. It made a difference in my regular like tennis shoe kind of shoes, but I put it in like my sandals. It was like actually a hard plastic piece, and that jacked up my feet. Like all of a sudden I'm like, this is not comfortable. I must have this, not put this in correctly. So then I just wear my sandals without them. But the pain has subsided. So I'm thinking it's fine. But
what about us heel wearing girlies?
You shouldn't, she said,
but they're so cute.
You should. She says with everything in moderation. So she's not saying never, ever, ever wear heels again. Although I personally will never, ever wear heels again. But she said, don't wear them all day. Just wear them for the event and then go back to your other shoe. But she says that our feet were designed so that we could feel the ground around us. Yeah. And so to wear more shoes that mimic bare feet, which is crazy because all the orthotic people that I went to said, oh, no, you shouldn't be walking around your house barefoot. That's bad for you. And she's saying you should be walking around barefoot, but keep in mind that like most of us are walking on man-made surfaces like concrete and linoleum.
That's what I was going to say. Ground, grass, sand, like go to the beach, get some of that so you have your foot. Yeah. And then your ankles to go up from there, and then your calf, and then your knees. Also, there's a guide, knees over toe. he talks about walking backwards because we work on all our accelerator muscles all the time. And
we don't focus on those specific muscles when you walk backwards. That, and then some people like working on the treadmill or the elliptical or something, they might grip their toes a lot more, and that causes pain because you're just trying to stay on that platform. So they think they're doing a good job with that. And then with the walking too, it's great. However, if you're in this much pain, hey, prescribe a different exercise that won't cause that. Maybe cycling casually, or we all get cruisers and do a podcast on the cruisers. Yeah. But there has to be other options. Yeah, like you said, like pool. You can walk around in the pool. Swimming, right?
Swimming. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to relax your foot. I do have some students that crimp their feet up with
She said she calls that, like that whole thing, that's how you get hammer toes. Yeah. I didn't even know that's what hammer toe was.
Yeah. What is it? Is it when you're curled?
It's when your toes are like clawing down, gripping as you walk. Yeah. It's called hammer toe. Your toes are supposed to be like spread out, like fan out your finger. And she said that's why the Dawn Marie's mentioning toe spacers. Yeah, they force you to like spread out your toes, and so that you want to. So I'm like, actually, flip flops should be a good type of foot. It's a splay.
It's a splay. Yeah,
but you still need to be able to feel the ground underneath, and you want to make sure that the plane that your heel and the ball of your feet are on should be the same plane. So there's no little elevation at all. That'll help protect you. So like she says, we think we need all this arch support, but we don't. And if you watch it, she's talking about like when you do certain things, you should feel your arches rise and fall. And like, I don't know where I heard it from. And she reiterated a stereotype that like flat foot's not good. She's like, no, there's nothing wrong with a flat foot. You want your foot, your heel and your ball of your feet to be in the same
place. Yeah, symmetry, because you want your just body weight displayed. And then, because when I became pregnant with my daughter, I was putting more weight on the balls of my feet, I think. And they're just like, that's all lighting up. I'm like, well, that will explain why I'm in pain. And granted, carrying a little human being in me that was adding weight all of a sudden and all that jazz. But yeah, the foot, there's spacers that you can put, and they're like jellies that you put one toe in each, and then you just, for as long as you can tolerate.
So it just keeps your toes separated.
Yeah. Like when watching TV or something, like you could walk around the house, but you feel it. Like at the end of the day, I've put them on. I'm like, oh boy, but I do feel better because it helps release the pad of your foot all the way down after a while. And then if you can do it and then put your legs up against the wall and be like the letter L on your back, that will help your lower back decompress as well. But it's all connected.
She wears them all the time.
Inside her shoes too.
Mm-hmm, yep, I read. She was the foot. She said she would, if you can get to wearing them all the time, that's great.
Well, I'm gonna go home now and put them on.
Now you just got to get bigger shoes. I'm assuming, right?
No, well, because we're wearing the wrong shoe, right? So wide toe box, and this is the big takeaway: wide toe box, level playing field. Yep. Same plane for your heel.
Not a heel,
not a no lift area, no angles, and then thin soles, so that your feet can feel it. Because she said that most of our balance comes from the sensory
proprioception
in our feet. And so if you have strong feet, that travels up to the rest of your body. And so that lots of people who have back pain, it's because they're using their hips and their lower back to accommodate for the fact that they have weak feet. And that's her philosophy. Is like, we just have weak feet because since we were children, we've been forced into these shoes that are not good for building foot strength.
And we've been sitting in chairs that don't have your full range of motion for your feet too, and your hips. So that's another thing with the weak pelvic floor that lead into weak feet. And then,
which is probably what leads to back pain, is because we're using our back muscles or whatever muscles more to compensate. Mm-hmm.
We're using them less. Yeah.
Yes.
To do
Makes
anything.
Sense.
Yeah. Because other cultures who don't have foot pain, back pain, are popping a squat to eat, popping a squat to use the toilet and all that stuff.
She was talking about, when I forgot what country she was visiting, and that this father and son were doing some construction, lifting heavy stuff. And she's like, they were barefoot the whole entire time, picking up things. And she could see that, like walking just barefoot.
Building in Fiji?
I don't know. Some not as developed country, I sounded like, but she said they were doing it correctly. That's and she's like, all these things about, like you talked about your ankle, like, you know, when people want to go hiking, they think they need to get hiking boots. She said that's the wrong approach, because you want your ankle, you need to be able to flex forward and backwards, and you're restraining your foot from moving the way it naturally wants to feel. And people think they need hiking boots to make them feel stable. What's going to feel stable is that your foot is figuring out where you should be placing.
Right. And your ankle then is strengthening. Well, look at all the Kenyan runners that do so well in long distance. They don't have shoes and they're running on clay.
When I run marathons and stuff, you see quite a few people running like barefoot or wearing those ugly barefoot shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to get you those, Marita.
Okay.
We'll make them cute.
I guess I guess when you get older,
is there a shoemaker out there that wants to make us cute
I'm
shoes?
hoping like I was watching this, and of course the two people on the show are definitely like 10 years younger than me. And so she was talking about how, you know, like, I'm like, is it too late for me? And I'm like, I got to think that it's not too late. I'm not that old. But the other big takeaway I forgot to say is, like, she said, the walking and stuff, she's like, do mini walks. She's like, she correlated a certain number of minutes corresponds to a certain number of steps. So 10 minutes is like 1,000 steps. So just so 5 minutes is like 500 steps. So just do a quick 5-minute walk here, 5-minute walk there. So I'm like, okay, I've been spending a lot of time, like, cause she's just standing is not what you need to be doing. Like, so you can say, like, our job, we're standing all the time. Well, standing is just not as bad. Just standing still, it's about the same thing as just sitting.
Yeah.
And so she said walk. So I'm like, okay, I've been making sure I walk around my classroom more.
Yeah, just snake the class and the students.
Yep. Pro tip, I drink a lot of water, so it forces me to get up to walk to the bathroom. So I'm staying hydrated and I'm getting my steps in.
And your skin is glowing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to try to implement the things she did advertise. I don't know how much it costs.
Did you see the shoes that she was advertising?
Yes, I saw. There's 2 shoes on the podcast. One of them looks to me more like a tennis shoe that you can slide your foot into. It's got a little bit of foam. The other one reminds me of like when I ran track, but it had a wider toe box. It looks like a track shoe because it's, you know, when you run track, it's like, it's very thin on the bottom. There's not a lot, like sprinters, right? Sprinters, they have like these spike shoes and there was not a whole lot of sole there, but it had a wider thing. So it's kind of this mesh. She goes, the shoes that have mesh on the top are important too, because you want your toes to be able to move. You want a shoe that gives you full mobility of your foot. So you need your toes to be able to flex up and flex down, your heel to be able to move, and that the pads of your feet need to be able to have, you need to, activate all your sensory nerves that are at the bottom there so that you know. So she said that that's what you should do. So the shoes looked fine. I don't know how expensive they were. Some name I didn't recognize, but you know, the regular name brands that you see at like in the mall, those are not good for you.
Yeah. Interesting.
Right. We'll have to get some and then try them out for a couple months.
And then she did advertise the foot strengthening kit. Like, so they had she had toe spacers and toe strengtheners. It's different.
What does a toe strengthener look like? Is it like the finger ones, but for toes?
Yeah. Exactly like that. So she had these toe strengtheners and then these bands. And so in the podcast, she walks the hosts through like some stretching exercises that you can use with their kit or things you can do without the kit.
Yeah.
So
like using a towel to
a towel or like a band to pull and stuff like that. So it was mostly around toe strength.
When I worked in physical therapy, what we had people do was pick up marbles, their toe, and then put it into another pot. So that's also a good one.
Marita's going to learn how to play guitar.
With your toes,
I play guitar, but not that well. With your toes. I'm not with my
Party
toes.
trick.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Well, I hope that your plantar fasciitis healing journey goes well for you.
I hope so too, because my dream is to eventually, like last year, I didn't do the fun run in the spring at our school. I want to be able to do that.
I missed you. I walked that one though. So
yeah, we had something else going on that day, so that's the only reason why. And so, but I want to run it. I loved running. I'm so jealous that my son gets to run. He's like, to be young again, right? Yeah. And so when I hear him coming back, like he's out running right now, and I'm like, how far did you run today? And like one day they ran 14 miles, and I'm like, dude, you could do a half marathon. He's like, no.
14 miles?
They ran
Wow, that's
14.
good.
Yeah, right. And he was like, hey, how do you feel? It's like, I'm sore. You know? But I mean, I'm like so jealous of that. And then, you know, it's like to be able to have that freedom of movement. So
Yeah, like use it or use it or lose it.
Yeah, that's what got me thinking, like, is it too late? Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
But it's
not
still
too late.
there.
Yeah.
You just have to work at it. So I have to rethink. I'm rethinking what I do in terms of my exercise workout routine. Oh, geez. Plantar fasciitis is where you have basically overworked the plantar fascia. Is it tissue or muscle? Tendon, right? It's like you're overworking it, so it's strained and it can cause acute pain that's symptomatic in the heel. It's really heel pain. All the other stuff is probably because now I'm overworked my plantar fascia. I have to use other things. So she just says overworking it. You know, using it, that's the thing. So if you listen to the doctor on the podcast, it means because I don't have good foot strength overall. And so I was overcompensating for poor foot strength. And so that overcompensating for poor foot strength can affect your plantar fascia, can affect your knee joints, can affect your hip joints, can affect your back, can give you headache. I mean, that's what this lady was. I didn't learn all that from my doctor. I learned most of that from the podcast. My doctor just said that's, you know, and because I'm like, well, I thought it was just about the weight gain. She's like, the weight gain can add extra load that your body has to overcome, but it's about the mechanics of how you use your feet is the main cause for that plantar fasciitis. I spent $130 on the insoles that I have in my shoes, which made a huge difference. And then I bought the ones that go in your sandals, like your dress shoes. But I'm pretty sure I put those in incorrectly. But my shoes already, I found these good ones on like a shoe store, and then I found more of them on Amazon. Everyone's like, oh, your sandals are so cute. They already have enough arch support, so I think I didn't need to put that in there. And so I've been wearing those sandals to work, and they're fine. My feet don't hurt as much. I think it was that whole, I need to condition myself to being standing and walking all day long. You know, plus I started helping coach field hockey, so then I'm walking from my classroom all the way down to the bowl. So it was like more walking. So,
well, yeah, and then you're on your feet longer than.
But I am enjoying the coaching. It's fun.
She mentioned the brand for the white toe box shoes.
Yes, but I can't remember. It's like Vove. I want to say Vove, but that's the name of something else. So it starts with a V.
How long have you been using the toe spacers?
I use them on and off for like the last year because I had the same thing happening with my heel hurting and then back pain and then that. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get back to it since being back at work. But I would say try to do it every day. I didn't realize she was doing it all day because you do feel muscle strain and stuff. But yeah, now I'm curious what her brands are. How's she going to wear them all? How does she wear them all day?
I don't know, but she was wearing them and she's like, I'm wearing them right now. I wear them all the time.
Okay, mine were like thicker.
They look pretty thick.
Like in a clear like jelly.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're stretching.
That's what she had. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that's what she pulled them off. If you just go on YouTube, you'll see them.
But do you feel a difference after you?
Oh, my feet, I feel better. Mm-hmm. Because that's better than taking medicine. That's better than. I don't. I refuse. Even surgery.
I don't like that. When my doctor said, or we can go, or cortisone shots. I'm like, no, I shouldn't have. I should be able to do something physically to help improve.
That patient that's like, no,
I don't want. I'm so anti-drugs. Oh, I'm allergic to the good stuff, and so
morphine.
No, ibuprofen and aspirin as well. I'm allergic to that, so I can't have that. So Tylenol is all I can take, and you know I don't want to build up a tolerance to Tylenol, and so I also suffer from migraines. So my doctor prescribed me some. Like as soon as I get the onset of my migraine, because I'll have the auras with my migraines.
Okay.
As soon as I get the onset of my migraine to take that medicine. But even then I'm like, okay, it's got to be really bad migraine for me to want to take that medicine. So my husband's like, whenever I was like, I have a headache, he's like, well, take some Tylenol. I'm like, no, it's not. It's easy for me to just take some Tylenol. I'll have to wait till it's like unbearable.
Just means Steve needs to rub your feet some more.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we're all gonna get foot spacers.
That's guess what you're using your Christmas.
Marita's gonna be walking around barefoot in the classroom with foot spacers.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. And if you guys want to listen to the podcast, it's an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. I also recommend, like, if you want, because I watch, it's on YouTube as well. So you can see the types of shoes that they were saying are good, the better shoes that are bad. I mean, the shoes that are good and bad. And then also to watch her help walk the host through the different foot exercises. I thought that was useful because I started listening to the podcast. And when they start, I'm like, is there a way I can see this? And then I found it on YouTube.
Perfect. So this is The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. Your toes can predict if you'll die early. So yes, listen in and everybody take care of your toes.
Yeah. So I'm going to clap my feet. Happy feet.
Yes. Yeah.